This topic is topics are discussed, but this so we will enjoy. Good evening, everyone. This week, Latur MS India organizing daily international webinar series. In this series, speakers are invited from India and abroad. Topics related to education, law, health, technology, environmental science, all topics are accepted here. This series is running from last 5 years. If we see the list of invited speakers, you see mostly are women resource persons. So this is the mission of Women Empowerment Series, and we are this recognized this series by India Book of Record, International Book of Record, and Asia Book of Records for the women empowerment. Today on 5th August, we are invited Dr. Udita Kundu ma'am, who is Assistant Professor, Deep PG Degree College, Gurgaon. And the topic is contemporary relations between India and China. I welcome you, ma'am, from my organization.
Thank you, sir.
Those who are joined here. And we are eager to listen from this today's session about the relations between India and China. And this is the first webinar I think we have invited on the political Indian politics. So we are eager to listen from you. I again welcome you and all the participants. And I request you can start your speech now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm very, very grateful to you, Principal Sir, and all the organizers of your team for this opportunity. And without any delay, we will start with our topic, contemporary relations between India and China. I would be very grateful if you all could at least tell me if my screen is visible or not. Okay, I'm sharing it right now. Is the PPT visible to all of you?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, great, perfect. So, in this webinar series, of course, I'm greatly influenced with your idea of supporting all the female academicians all around the world. It's a great initiative, sir. And in political science, I have done my PhD specifically on India and China relations. So, yes, it's a topic very close to my heart all the time. And specifically, contemporary relations are very, very crucial and important in understanding the relations between India and China, because most people know about all of the history and everything, but the recent developments are quite suspensive, are quite new, which are very important in understanding the dynamics of international relations. So, in this lecture, we will be understanding about the navigating competition, regional order, and pragmatic coexistence in the 21st century between India and China. So, yes, both these ancient supergiants are close to each other, share boundaries, and yes, in the Asia's biggest boundary, and the Himalayan backdrop and the regional order is as follows. Uh, just a 2-minute introduction about India and China. Both of the civilizations are the world's oldest civilizations, and recently they are the fastest growing major economies of the world. And together, both India and China account for 1/3 of the global population and play a very significant role in Asia and global politics in all. And their relationship, as we all say, that they are all weather friends, and this amazing relationship is characterized by cooperation, competition, conflict, rivalry, and whatnot. And it is Asia's one of the biggest bilateral relationships in international relations. And the recent relationship or the contemporary relationship is described as the competitive coexistence, competition as well as cooperation. And this economic cooperation continues despite every rivalry, despite every war, and despite every border tension. So, yes, as we all know, the ancient relations were very, very good between India and China. Buddhism connected us, Silk Route connected us, cultural exchange connected us, and the whatnot. There are so many things which are relatable with each other. But and yes, after independence, both India and China supported each other. Everything went all nice and smooth till Indo-Sino War in 1962. Panchsheel was there. Everything was well between Hindi Chini and Bhai Bhai slogan. Everything was just in order as expected. But the India and China war in 1962 brought some trouble, but yes, the Congress government managed to get through it. Relationships went well till recent COVID time. So both of these giants face asymmetries with each other also. There is demographic difference, there is growth difference. However, both countries share 30% of the global economic growth, which is, I guess, highest in the number between any two country of the world. But yeah, there is asymmetry, there is difference. China's GDP is 5 times that of India. So yes, that's one difference. Although population is the same, not same. India surpassed China recently, but yeah, despite that, resource Chinese economy is 5 times that of India, and then also there is demographic difference. Young population, while in contemporary times, what we are seeing that China is rapidly aging. So even despite this such a big drawback, what we see that Chinese economy is still 5 times that of India. Also, there is a difference in both the vision of both the countries. While India watches world as a multipolar country, specifically multipolar Asia, while China's vision is more of Chinese centric. So yes, what China sees itself is the biggest country in Asia as well as in the world, and making initiatives like One Belt and One Road initiatives. So we'll focus more on the contemporary part and less on the historical part, because contemporary is more important and more relevant. So the biggest clash in the 5 decades happened very, very recently between India and China. While the world faced a COVID-19 pandemic, the world was going through a several health crises in 2020. India and China saw a massive clash at the Galwan Valley. So here's the map also depicting the clash between India and China. So Galwan Valley is right here between at the Bhutan and Nepal border. Uh, this clash recognized a very, very serious tension between India and China. Many of our soldiers were killed in the same, and so were the Chinese. However, it was later solved between the dialogue between PM Modi and the President Xi Jinping. But yes, it was a very massive impact on the relations between India and China. Coming this in between a COVID-19 pandemic was a more serious issue, because while everyone was diverting their resources towards the health department, India and China were had to divert their resources at the defense department. So yes, it was a massive standoff for both of our economies. There are three major areas of friction between India and China. Number one, LAC militarization. LAC is line of actual control. It's the border line between India and China, and it's called LAC. So at LAC, both India and China have been increasing their military since the COVID-19 pandemic. And recently, even in 2026, we see rapid militarization at the border of India and China. Both of the countries are upgrading their resources, their air bases, and all of their army and immunization. Maritime security, another area of friction between India and China, since India has a larger hold on Indian Ocean. So what China is doing, it is creating a string of pearls at the Indian Ocean. That means it is making small bases at different islands in Indian Ocean control, and it's developing some over these islands. So yes, it's a matter of concern for India that China is covering Indian Ocean and making a line of control in water too. So yes, it's a matter of it the countries, although actively trying to combat this through the doctrine and participation in Quad. Quad is a multilateral platform where India, Australia, USA, and Japan collaboratively work with each other to combat China. But it's quite passive these days, so let's see what future holds in this area. Also, there areas. Between India and China, what we see recently is that there is great economic interdependence. We also saw that COVID-19 time, many of the Indian industries were shut down because they were heavily dependent on China. For example, the steel industries, it shut down in India because manufactured steel comes from China, right? Also in China, many of our pharmaceuticals ingredients get exported. So both these countries face interdependence on each other. India being more and China being less dependent. But yes, despite all of these standoffs, we saw 130 billion plus trade deficit. It is a huge number. India really needs to focus on this. Secondly, watching this independence, India to by putting restrictions on FDIs, banning many apps such as TikTok and etc. Also, it tried to build a more pragmatic approach in ease of doing business. So yes, this is the trade metrics. There is 100 billion plus trade deficit between India and China, and it is the biggest source of contention between the two. Reason: Chinese export consists primarily of value-added machinery. China exports its modernized goods, the manufactured goods, while India mostly exports the raw materials. Of course, manufactured goods are expensive than raw materials. So yes, India faces a very big trade deficit with China, and this number is continuously increasing every year. So, of course, yes, policy, we have made many policies to balance economic growth and national security by diversing our resources and boosting our domestic manufacturing. But however, it still remains the same. So, here is the comparative study between India and China. What is India's position and what is China's position in different areas, including border, architecture, multilateral arenas, and economic policy. Although both the countries uh, definitely want peace along the line of actual control, but China views many of the Indian areas as its own, and that is the major issue of contention between the two. And yes, as I said earlier, what China advocates is Chinese economy and not a multipolar world, but India focuses on a multipolar world. Uh, of course, both of the countries are also engaged in BRICS and SEO, but again, both of these institutions have become very, very passive in recent decades, and they are not very fruitful these days. As much as economic policy is concerned, India is focusing on supply chain, diversifying supply chain, and China focuses as usual on its tech investments and uninterrupted supply chain. These are the few areas where both of the countries engage with each other. There's BRICS, there's SCO, and there's Indo-Pacific dynamics continuously changing every day. Uh, of course, all of these institutions play a major role. We get to share dialogues with China, but they have become so passive these days that there's no result at all. And here is the India China trade evolution over the contemporary years during the post COVID period, and this 2024 trade. As I told you, the trade deficit is continuously increasing everywhere. It was 69 billion in 2021 and it's 100 billion in 2024. So yes, it's continuously increasing every year despite all the initiatives by the present government, including Atmanirbhar Bharat, Make in India projects. It doesn't look like it's building something because what we see is a continuous trade deficit with China. So yeah, as I said, Atmanirbhar Bharat, India tried to slow down this trade deficit by many of its programs to reduce dependence on Chinese imports. Many initiatives like production-linked incentives, Make in India program, domestic manufacturing, semiconductor mission, supply chain diversification. Supply chain diversification means that you supply your sources of import and export in order to balance your trade with China. But since we have almost lost our contacts with Russia and many other Soviet supporting countries, so yes, it's again not so fruitful. Also, after the Galwan Valley clash and the Doklam Valley clash, what India did, it banned FDI from its neighboring countries, just, I guess, to treat a lesson, but I guess it's not very fruitful. Also, India banned many of the Chinese apps, like more than 250 apps were banned after the Doklam Valley and Galwan Valley clash, including TikTok and UC browser. It were all banned over national security concerns. So, there's some information I would like to share. During my PhD, what I found that the Aadhaar database, the Madhya Pradesh police database were all hacked by Chinese hackers. The source was traced back to China. So this was another reason why India banned all these apps. And this happened specifically during the COVID-19 time. I'm talking about the year 2020. where many Chinese hackers actually hacked our Aadhaar database. So about 20,000 I guess about 20,000, yes, I'm right. 20,000 Aadhaar numbers were shared with the Chinese, and it happened during the COVID-19 time. It arises a question. It kind of creates a suspense that why in a global health crisis something like that is happening. Yes, so it creates some suspicion and questions among the general public. Okay, so yes, this was one suspension. And next, let's talk about what happened after the Galwan Valley clash, which happened in June 2020. As I told, it was the biggest freeze in the latest decades, because after 1962 war, there was no, of course, there was tension, there was rivalry, but no death record of any soldier was there after 1962 Sino-Indian clash till Galwan Valley clash in 2020. So yes, that's why it's seen as a very, very major concern due to the death number of Indian and Chinese soldiers. So yes, what happened after it, between 21 and 23, there were many, yes, it's written here, as you can see, 20 plus rounds of talks between the Chinese and Indian commanders to stop the friction at the Galwan Valley. And following that, President Modi and Xi Jinping met at a summit in Kazan, and both agreed on many issues and patrolling agreement. And since 25 to present, there have been many special talks, flights, engagements. Of course, Kailash Mansarovar Yatra is open again. Many routes are open again. So yes, it's going in a positive way, and let's hope it continues like this. I'm sorry. During the COVID-19 pandemic, we also saw vaccine diplomacy between India and China. What happened? Uh, China specifically sent medicine and help to the countries of One Belt and One Road initiative. So, what is One Belt and One Road is? It's an agreement between Asian countries, some few Asian countries, to create the ancient Silk Route, which goes back from Asia to, which connects Asia to Europe. So there are many countries in Asia which come under this One Belt One Road initiative, including India, Pakistan, Afghanistan. Here in the east, there's Myanmar, there's all the South Asian countries. So this ancient Silk Route used to connect Asia to Europe, and what China is trying to do now is build it again. So what China did, of course, India is not supporting this dream, because the initiative lets China control the major part of this initiative, and it passes through the Pakistan occupied Kashmir, and India finds it that uh, it is very supportive of China to actually support Pakistan, in the same that they are supporting Pakistan occupied Kashmir, and they are saying that it's part of Pakistan and not India. So India cannot arise its issue over it. But yes, again, of course, we consider POK as our part. It is our part, and what China is doing, it is creating a road bit over it, and is saying that we don't require the Indian decision, Indian support on it. So India is backing out of this One Belt One Road initiative. Secondly, India says that it will support terrorism in future if this initiative is successful, because there will be a direct connection between India and Pakistan, and terrorists will come along this border initiative. It will be a matter of concern, matter of security concern. So in what right now, this initiative is again passive, but what is happening is China is specifically uh, supporting those countries which are a part of One Belt and One Road initiative in order to combat India. So during COVID-19 pandemic, it specifically gave medicine help to these countries only. India also, on the other hand, helped its South Asian members during the COVID-19 pandemic, and both of the countries have been playing vaccine diplomacy and other diplomatic things even during the COVID-19 period. Again, I would like to arise with one issue. During the COVID-19 pandemic, what we saw is that China had a all the countries had a economic growth. So yes, it again create a matter of suspicion about the COVID-19 virus. Again, what China, lockdown happened in parts, in sectors. First in one sector, second in other sector, third in other sector. While in India we faced a national lockdown, right? So again, it's again an issue that everything was so planned in China. The lockdown, the virus, the economy, the policies. Of course, it kind of creates suspicion in the mind of any person, right? So yes, with this, I would like to conclude my lecture. And with this managed competition between India and China, of course, they are major Asian ancient superpowers. And what the world and both of these economies require is cooperation with each other and not any kind of competition in order for a very, very positive growth. Let's hope that it goes in a positive way, because recently in this year specifically, we talk about 2026, both of these economies are doing positive dialogues with each other, and let's hope it continues to do so. And there will be collaboration and no competition at all. So yes, this was all about contemporary relations between India and China. Thank you so much everyone for listening, and I'm all up for any interaction you would like.
Thank you, ma'am,
Thank you so
for
much,
your
sir.
total speech on this topic. I think this topic is new for us because subjects which are discussed here are not political or anything, means not the more majorly. But firstly, we have listened all these things from you. Thank you for this. How you have selected this because India and China are not so good friends. I would like to ask one thing.
Yes.
Rajeshwar Katre sir, please you can discuss.
Is my voice is audible to you, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're audible.
Yes, thank you,
Perfect.
BETKAR sir, for providing opportunities for this on this platform, and you always invite the various speakers from different background. So this is also my favorite subject. Thank you, ma'am, for very informative session you have given, information you have given. I have some that doubts, and I have some information regarding this. So I would like to just tell you that India is a good friend of every foe that around us. So we do not have enemy,
Yeah.
enemy with relation with anyone. if any nation that breach our security or our sovereignty, India will give befitting reply, just like Operation Sindoor. Uh, in terms of independence that India is having right now, you talked about API, active pharmaceutical ingredient. That API that, sorry, because I'm not able to talk. I'm right now climbing over that stairs.
Of
That's
course,
why.
of course.
Yeah. Okay, wait for a minute, ma'am. India is having so much companies that are producing API right now, and that India will definitely independent one day. But right now, in last 1 or 3 months, India is making the technologies and producing our own products that do not depend on China. The technology we are having right now, that's we have. You already told about semiconductor, everything, and India is also making the that magnetic motors that do not rely on permanent magnets. That China is exporting to every country right now. That's the similar technology we are getting without depending on China. So one day there will be a time that we will not depend on China. So India is not having enemy with Chinese or any countries. But whenever there is a problem with our security or that our sovereignty, India will give befitting reply, not with weapon, but with the uh, self-reliance, becoming self-reliance. So that's why India is having its own self-sovereign economy that do not rely on any other's country. I think so, because we do not depend on the food and also product that are required in the national disaster. As like COVID, we faced a national disaster, but we do not need any securities from other countries in terms of food security. So in India will become most robust and truly independent country than any other country. Thank you, ma'am. What do you say about this everything? Thank you.
Yes, yes, of course. It was wonderful to hear this from you. And yes, I also hope the same. I really want it to work it like that, because I always support that on soft power is very, very more important than working on hard power. You have to focus on yourself, your dependence, and not, you should try to cut off your interdependence on any other countries. As we saw during the COVID-19 time, we saw that it is very crucial now to stop exporting stuff from China and let us focus on ourselves only. I really do wish that the present government really focus on this. And yes, we do try to combat China. We slow down our trade deficit. We come in a positive growth way. And I would love to watch China in a trade deficit with India. I really hope that day comes, as you also suggested the same. And yes, we all hope for the same. But I guess the numbers are saying things differently, because it's 100 billion plus trade deficit. We have to check on numbers also. But yes, let's hope for the best for for all of us and both of these economies. Thank you so much, sir, for your information.
Yeah, in globalization, ma'am, it's practically impossible to independent on all things. But what happened whenever the India tries to get rid of something that independent, some other forces start trying to make it dependent. So there are some that forces that work against India. So
Yeah.
it is not possible in the globalization. We rely on every country, but it is not possible practically to become 100% independent. But in terms of our national security, in terms of our that financial security, so we will definitely be unique in other countries like others which are depend on the food securities and also securities. I have one another doubt that you told that there is a trade deficit.
Yes.
So it is. I'm not talking about trade. I'm talking about India's its own dependence. Independence. That what we Atmanirbhar. So we can one day we will do that. But there is a problem with that. That the forces which are acting against India, they will not. They will ensure that there will be a trouble with the government, and that they will try to fund the people who are against India. So that will happen. So our securities are concerned, and they know how to deal with them. So
Yes,
I have
that's
another,
something we have
yeah.
to. Yes, that's something we have to deal with. Very in a very crucial way. It's very important to deal with all of that. Yes, government is over occupied with so many things. We cannot solely blame government for everything. All of us have to play part in the same. Yes, you are absolutely right in that way. Yes.
Yeah, India is a student is competing with own ourselves only. Like the student want to take 100% mark, but don't want to compare with other students. It is
Yes.
like that. So we are
Yes.
not comparing with anyone. But we want to become independent without making anyone's loss, without claiming anyone's loss. So that is why India is stand unique to in the global politics. That's why India is having good relation with every country. That India wants to help everyone
Yes.
without harming any other country, without harming sovereignty of any other country. That's make India globally a great friend of foe also. What do you
Yes.
say about, ma'am? Thank you
Yes.
very much.
Yes, of course. And that's why we have more friends than China because of our such welcoming attitude and loving and all the friendships all over the world. Yes, we are very better with China in that way. And of course, that's how global politics works. That's how geopolitics work, right? So yes, we are better in that way also. You are absolutely right in this.
So, any suggestion to like Indian diplomats like you? You studied research on Indian-China relation. Any suggestions there for man Indian diplomacy? Any even political leaders? What do you say about? So, what's going on right now? We are not doing any fight with China, and we are that we are not that in the mood to make any enemies or war. So, what is our motto is to make ourselves independent and have good relation with everyone. What do you say about that, man?
Yes, of course. There's nothing like enemy, but yes, it's all dramatic and news language. Uh, no one is friend or enemy in international relations and geopolitics. Everyone works on their own self-interest, right? So, as for the Indian government, uh, more dialogues with China, more connectivity with China, more engagement in BRICS and SCO is very important. Both BRICS and SCO were started on a very good platform, but eventually it has lost its relevance. These are the two three platforms where all India, Pakistan, China connect with each other. I guess Indian diplomats really need to make it active again. And what we really need to ensure is that we connect with China more culturally, because in ancient times we had better relations because of our culture and because of our trade. So yes, it's very important to revive the culture of both countries with each other. It was a very good initiative of the government these days that it revived our Kailash Mansarovar Yatra, which was closed. And
Thank you, Rajeshwar Khatri sir. I thought that no one will discuss on this topic, but you are also having a touch in study on the international relationship, especially through with China. Thank you for discussing. We will wait for her to join, and we invite Surya Prakash Vyas sir and Dr. Swanand Shukla sir to discuss with the speaker. I will contact her.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
नमस्ते मैडम, मेरी आवाज आ रही?
सर उनको उनको ज्वाइन होने दो. आई थिंक शी हैव लेफ्ट. आई विल
जी सर, जी
communicate her.
जी
Thank you, sir.
Uh, I'm so sorry. There was some network issue. I'm so sorry.
नमस्ते मैडम।
नमस्ते
उदिता
सर,
जी,
नमस्ते नमस्ते।
आपका उद्बोधन बहुत अच्छा रहा। मैं डिफेंस स्टडीज के शिक्षक हूँ। 10-12
ओके
साल से पढ़ा रहा हूँ।
ओके
तो जैसे चाइना का जो निर्माण है वो माओ से तुंग ने किया था। एक
जी
लंबे लॉन्ग मार्च के बाद में, युद्ध के बाद में, उसके आधार और उन्होंने जो उनको आधुनिक छापामार युद्ध का जो है जनक माना जाता है। तो उसमें उनकी जो कुछ है, सबसे बड़ा है कि जो छापामार योद्धा होता है वो कभी हार नहीं मानता, और उस आइडियोलॉजी पे चलने वाला जो है वो कभी आपका मित्र हो सकता है। मतलब एक बोलने में आदर्श वाक्य में भी सब अपने दोस्त होने चाहिए, लेकिन एक मतलब आप खुद जानते हैं कि ऐसा व्यक्ति कभी मित्र नहीं हो सकता। और फिर जैसे पाकिस्तान का साथ है, ये कहते हैं कि जो कुत्ते की पूंछ आप कितना भी वो कर लो वो सीधी नहीं होती। तो
जी
ऐसे लोगों के साथ भी ठीक है व्यापार करना और वो सब है, लेकिन इनके ऊपर कभी भी भरोसा नहीं किया जा सकता। तो इसलिए जो है हमेशा सावधान रहना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि ये हमेशा नुकसान ही पहुंचाएंगे। रिलेशन बढ़ाने के लिए ठीक है, चलो अच्छा, एक मानने के लिए व्यवहार करते रहो। बाकी मेरा ये मानना है व्यक्तिगत रूप से कि इनके ऊपर भरोसा करना अपने देश के लिए सुरक्षा की दृष्टि से हानिकारक होगा। और वैसे भी चाइनीज है, भारत से घृणा करते हैं, क्योंकि अंग्रेजों के समय में जो अफीम युद्ध और हुआ, और उसमें भारतीयों ने जो है ब्रिटिश का समर्थन किया था। वो तो चाइना के लिए जो है एक गलत चीज थी, क्योंकि उनके लिए नुकसान था, और उसमें भारतीयों ने सहयोग दिया था। तो इस सब बातों के आधार पर मेरा ये मानना है कि चाइना को हम कभी भी जो है उस पर विश्वास नहीं कर सकते। धन्यवाद मैम।
बिल्कुल सर, बिल्कुल आपकी बात सही है। चाइना में आज भी माओ की फोटो की पूजा करी जाती है, बिल्कुल सत्य है ये बात। और ऐसे जगह पे जो वायलेंस को सपोर्ट करते हैं, जो गन कल्चर को प्रमोट करते हैं, जो ये समझते हैं कि पावर को आप गन के थ्रू ही अचीव कर सकते हैं, जिस आइडियोलॉजी पर जो कंट्री इस हिसाब से चलती है उस पर विश्वास बिल्कुल नहीं किया जा सकता। बट हाँ, इंटरनेशनल रिलेशंस, जियोपॉलिटिक्स सिर्फ डिप्लोमेसी पर चलती है, सिर्फ नेशनल इंटरेस्ट पर चलती है। और क्योंकि हमारा पड़ोसी है तो हमें कुछ तो बना करके रखनी पड़ेगी। ज़रूरी है। हमारा बहुत ज़्यादा ट्रेड चाइना के साथ है, तो हम बिल्कुल नेग्लेक्ट तो नहीं कर सकते, पर हाँ बिल्कुल हम अपने नेशनल इंटरेस्ट को ध्यान में रख करके जितना चीज़ें उनके साथ कोऑपरेटिव वे में कर सकते हैं बिल्कुल कर सकते हैं। एंड येस, यू आर करेक्ट कि वो इंडियंस को बहुत पॉजिटिव वे में नहीं देखते हैं। रिसेंटली आई वेंट टू चाइना and I faced so much of racism there because वो ना अच्छे से आपसे बात करेंगे, वो एक अलग ही आइडियोलॉजी पर चलते हैं। ऑफ कोर्स एवरीवन इज प्राउड ऑफ देयर कल्चर। चाइना का कल्चर भी बहुत अच्छा है, हमें भी पसंद है वो, लेकिन अपने कल्चर को सपोर्ट करना लेकिन दूसरे के कल्चर को नेग्लेक्ट करना या उसको डाउनग्रेड करना कहीं ना कहीं ये बताता है कि वो बिल्कुल भी सपोर्टिव नहीं है। तो बिल्कुल हम ट्रस्ट नहीं कर सकते हैं। पर हाँ, ऑल वेदर फ्रेंड्स इसलिए कहा है कि जितनी भी दुश्मनी है, जितनी भी लड़ाई हुई है, उसके बाद भी ट्रेड कंटिन्यू चलता रहा है, यात्राएं कंटिन्यू चलती रही हैं। और अच्छी बात है, हमें बस अपने नेशनल इंटरेस्ट को देखना है, उसके अलावा हमें कुछ भी नहीं देखना है। सो यस, अच्छा पॉइंट था आपका।
इसमें एक दो बात मैं कहना चाहता हूँ कि जैसे माओ से तुमने कहा था कि सत्ता जो है बंदूक की गोली से निकली है, और दूसरा जैसे अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी ने कहा था कि जो है मित्र बदले जा सकते हैं लेकिन पड़ोसी नहीं बदले जा सकते। तो वो परिस्थितियां उनके साथ हमको जीना है, लेकिन वास्तविकता यही है कि उनसे हमेशा सावधान और बच के रहना पड़ेगा। धन्यवाद।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हैं सर।
धन्यवाद व्यास सर, आपने अच्छी चर्चा की है क्योंकि आप डिफेंस स्टडीज के हैं। आपके करिकुलम में ये सब बातें आती है, राष्ट्र की सुरक्षा, इंटरनेशनल रिलेशनशिप, ऑल दिस थिंग। So you are discussed with speaker. Now we invite देवीर सिंह जी और बाद में हमारे डॉक्टर स्वानंद शुक्ला सर कंक्लूड करेंगे।
सभी को नमस्ते। नमस्ते मैडम।
नमस्ते सर।
मैडम आपने वक्तव्य बहुत अच्छा दिया, उसके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। मैडम जो चाइना और भारत की जब बात आती है तो हम बचपन से और आज भी जो सुनते ही आए हैं, जब से हमारा देश आजाद हुआ शायद चाइना को लेके बड़े गंभीर रहते हैं हम लोग, इतना पाकिस्तान को लेकर नहीं रहते, क्योंकि हमें पाकिस्तान से तो बहुत मजबूत है, इसलिए उसको गंभीरता से नहीं लेते
जी।
अगर चाइना और भारत की जब हम बात करते हैं, जैसे वहाँ बौद्ध धर्म है और बौद्ध धर्म यहाँ से ही भारत से ही बौद्ध धर्म उत्पत्ति हुई है
जी।
क्योंकि सबसे ज्यादा धर्म हमारे भारत में ही उत्पत्ति हुई है दुनिया की। तो धर्म को लेकर दोनों देशों में जब राष्ट्रीय नीति या राष्ट्र की बात आती है तो आप कैसे देखते हैं चाइना और भारत के को लेकर धर्म?
As far as sir religion is concerned, yes, बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हैं आप। बुद्धिज्म हमारे यहाँ से शुरू हुआ और फिर वो चाइना पहुंचा है, लेकिन रिलीजन थोड़ा सा एक हमारे लिए कंटेंशन का इशू है, एक टेंशन एराइज करता है इंडिया और चाइना के बीच में बिकॉज ऑफ द दलाई लामा एंड तिब्बत कॉन्फ्लिक्ट। तो बहुत ज़्यादा रिलीजियस हमारा नहीं बन पा रहा है चाइना से, क्योंकि हमारे यहाँ बुद्धिज़्म थोड़ा अब कम हो रहा है ओवर द ईयर्स कंपैरेटिवली, तो हम उतना रिलेट नहीं कर पा रहे हैं अब बुद्धिज़्म को और अपने इस पार्ट को चाइना से। उसके अलावा हम जो और चीज़ें हैं उन पे ज़्यादा फोकस कर रहे हैं अब दीज डेज, तो हम उस चीज़ को रिवाइव नहीं कर पा रहे हैं। अभी तक भी दलाई लामा कॉन्फ्लिक्ट नहीं सुलझा है और अभी तक भी तिब्बत का कॉन्फ्लिक्ट नहीं सुलझा है, बॉर्डर लाइन नहीं सुलझी है। तो रिलीजन जो हमारा बहुत अच्छा एक पॉजिटिव पॉइंट हो सकता था कोऑपरेशन का, कोलैबोरेशन का, वो और ज़्यादा डाउनग्रेड हो गया है एक दो इश्यूज की वजह से जो इतने सालों से आज तक भी सॉल्व नहीं हो पाए हैं। तो एक अच्छा मतलब हमें सीखना चाहिए और आगे गवर्नमेंट को भी कि थोड़ा सा रिलीजन के एरिया पे अगर फोकस किया जाए कोलैबोरेशन को लेकर के, बुद्धिज़्म को लेकर के, तो ज़्यादा बेटर होगा। जो हमारे इश्यूज हैं वो सॉल्व किए जाएं। ऑल्दो ऑनेस्टली रिलीजन पे सर मैंने थोड़ा कम फोकस किया है, ज़्यादा मेरा फोकस दोनों कंट्रीज़ की इकोनॉमी पर ही रहा है। पर यदि आपका कोई सजेशन है तो मैं बिल्कुल रेडी हूँ, सुनना चाहूँगी।
बिल्कुल सही कहा मैडम, क्योंकि जो भूटान है, जैसे भूटान की जितनी भी सुरक्षा है आज हम ही सुरक्षा करते हैं भूटान की। और ये जो आपने कहा धर्म को लेकर थोड़ी सी सरकारें भी ध्यान दें तो बेहतर रिश्ते बनने की संभावना है, क्योंकि सभी अपना पक्ष मजबूत तो हम भी करना चाहते हैं, सभी देश करना चाहते हैं जी। लेकिन जो धर्म की बात जब आती है तो धर्म सभी को जोड़ लेता है जी। तो जैसे धर्म को लेकर ही हमारे भारत में जब इस्लाम आया तो ये दूसरे देश से आया, तो कभी भी हम समानता से रह नहीं पा रहे आज तक और न शायद रह पाएंगे। लेकिन बुद्धिज्म एक ऐसा था जो भारत में धर्म की उत्पत्ति हुई, उन धर्मों ने व्यक्ति को जोड़ा है, तोड़ा नहीं कभी। इसकी भारत की परंपराओं में रही है, ये खूबसूरती रही है। और सबसे ज्यादा अध्ययन चाइना से लोग भारत में ही अध्ययन करने आया करते थे, भारत से जुड़े रहे। जैसे नेपाल देश है वो उसमें आज तक हमारे पासपोर्ट नहीं लगते, भूटान है वहाँ भी हमें कोई नहीं, तिब्बत भी ऐसा ही था। तो ऐसे हमारा अगर देखें तो पक्ष तो बहुत मजबूत था, और जब तक धर्म की तरफ झुकाव था तब तक पक्ष था। अब धर्मशाला में तिब्बत की सरकार आज तक चल रही है अस्थायी तौर पर, लेकिन कुछ समाधान नहीं हो पाया। ये बहुत ही अच्छी बात की आपने कि अगर इसकी तरफ ध्यान दिया जाए तो ये बेहतर रिश्ते होने की उम्मीद। धन्यवाद मैडम।
बिल्कुल सर, बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हैं हम। धर्म तो जोड़ने का ही काम करता है सबको, और अगर सब गवर्नमेंट इस पर फोकस करे कि इस एरिया को इंडिया और चाइना के बीच में बेटर किया जाए, तो मुझे लगता है रिलेशंस बिल्कुल बेटर होंगे हमारे दोनों के। जी।
Can I speak, ma'am? Mr. Rajeshwar, I'm talking.
Yes, sir.
Actually, China is a very professional country. It do not think about religion. It think about its own ideology. That is communist ideology, communism, socialism, and they believe in their ideology, and also they believe in capitalism. That is not against America. That is in their profit. Actually, there is no ideology exists today because everyone is thinking about their own profit, own trade. That's why capitalism is all over there in the world. But there is no extremism in capitalism. Actually, there is no socialism exist anywhere, but there is no extremism in their ideology. Right now, what happened due to idealism? There was a world war. But right now, in today's era, that there is no absolute ideology that can make extremism. Are you getting my point? That's why China do not think about religion. It only think about professionalism, getting benefit, and also getting trade with every country. I think so. What happened? We invited Xi Jinping and Modi ji have visited so many religious places. So that is what we say is the biggest diplomacy to make our friend happy. But in terms of religion, as a secular country, we do not deal with religion with any other countries. We are having cultural relations with China and every religious country. But as far as diplomacy is concerned, only professionalism is concerned. I think so. What do you say, what ma'am?
Yes, true. China focuses less on religion, but it's again, we are discussing that it should be a point of maintaining some positive relation between India and China. Yes, there is no specific ideology in international relations. There's only national interest and self-interest. It's a continuously changing arena, and अभी हम आने वाले कुछ दिनों में ये भी देखेंगे कि प्रेसिडेंट शी जिनपिंग अमेरिकन प्रेसिडेंट डोनाल्ड ट्रम्प से भी मिलेंगे, तो वो भी डायनामिक्स चेंज करेगा। ऑफ कोर्स सब कंट्रीज अपने अपने सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट के ऊपर काम कर रही हैं, और अभी इंडिया को यही देखना है कि हमें कैसे इस चीज़ को कॉम्बैट करना है। अगर उन दोनों की फ्रेंडशिप होती है, दोनों एकदम अपोजिट आइडियोलॉजीज हैं, दोनों की अलग अलग विचारधाराएं हैं, तो अभी हमें ये भी देखना होगा कि जब वो दोनों अपोजिट आइडियोलॉजी से एक दूसरे से कोलैबोरेट करके अपनी अपनी इकोनॉमीज, अपने अपने कंट्रीज के नेशनल इंटरेस्ट में काम कर रही है, तो अब हमें किस साइड जाना है? हमें स्पेसिफिकली कंप्लीटली ना तो पूरा अमेरिका के साइड जाना है, ना पूरा हमें चाइना से कोलैबोरेट करना है। हमें कोशिश करनी चाहिए कि हम अपने बाकी फ्रेंड्स के साथ भी अपने रिलेशंस को रिवाइव कर सके। फॉर एग्जांपल, रशिया से हमारी इतनी अच्छी फ्रेंडशिप ओवर द ईयर्स रही है, क्यों ना हम उसे फिर से रिवाइव कर सके इनसे कॉम्बैट करने के लिए। बट अगेन रशिया इज एंगेज्ड इन वॉर एंड एवरीथिंग एल्स, सो अगेन हमें ये भी देखना है कि किसके साथ कैसे रिलेशन मेंटेन कर रहे हैं, खुद के ऊपर कितना ज़्यादा फोकस करना है, कैसे चीज़ें बेटर करनी है। बेस्ट ऑप्शन तो यही है कि हम खुद पर फोकस करके इंडिपेंडेंट बने, आत्मनिर्भर भारत को और प्रोग्रेसिवली आगे लेकर के जाएं, ताकि हमारी डिपेंडेंस और कंट्रीज पर कम हो जाए। एंड यस, दैट्स ऑल।
Thank you, ma'am. In your research, you might be you have given stress on the economic part, financial part, all these things. But for further research, you get this point also, how the regional relations of our relations can be enhanced through these regional languages. Thank you, ma'am. Now we invite Dr. Anand Shukla, sir, please.
Good evening, Dr. Betkar, sir. Good evening, ma'am. Thank you very much for a wonderful discussion regarding China and India relationship. And no doubt we are having, I think there is some echo. We are getting some, ma'am, if you can make yourself off, so
Yes.
mute yourself so there will be no echo. Yeah, thank you. So I think, we are having, from the since ancient time, we are having a kind of relationship between the China and India. And no doubt, we are having a good amount of trade. We cannot deny that. And I remember, that still people are purchasing so much of furniture and so much of huge things, from China. And they are known to produce, the things in a quantity. And these people, we have to learn something positive, thing from them. They are very hardworking people, and they are doing hard work. In afternoon they go for sleep, and again they work. So it is such a wonderful thing, to learn from Chinese people. International politics is different, and no doubt they are having a theory of expansion. They acquire the land of other people as soon as they get opportunity. So this is not just with India, but this is also with the Japanese, some islands, and Philippines and other countries also. They are facing the same problem with the China. So that threat is always, it is there in the neighborhood of China. So they are having a fights for the land for Japan and other people. So that is also a very important story. But when we are talking about the economics, definitely, we cannot say we will not have a relationship with China, because so many things we are still dependent on them. And we cannot, straightforward, we cannot say no. Lithium is something very important thing which is coming from the China, or so many things are coming from the China. But that expansion theory, we have to be very careful, and we have to be, aware about, what they are doing and what is their, they are thinking about the land. So many of the times the Indian map get changed, and you'll find the Chinese map get changed. And in, recently the Commonwealth game also, one of the player, she has taken objection that, our east part of India was not shown in the, the map of India. So she has taken objection. That is a national, what we can say, spirit of nationality. Really, it is coming forward. So this is very important thing. But we know what happened about the Pakistan. They were saying China is our best friend. But they have slowly, with the business, with the road, development, and that CP project or something project, they have acquired a land. And not only of Pakistan land, but POK land also they have taken. So one has to be very careful about this international politics and the land expansion. So very important thing is regarding the economics. Yes, we should be independent. Someone was saying, we are praising up on this. And made in India is, India first. That kind of thing should be there. But yes, definitely there are some positive points, like China has taught us, various things like health, hygiene, and various kinds of medications has come from China to us. And our, some, I think, Jesse was saying that religion has gone to them. So there is always give and take between these two countries. We should respect them, but definitely, one should be very clear about our strategy, national strategy, how to behave, because we have already faced two wars, on the bomb. We should call it as a war. Of course, they are not declared it, but it was kind of war only, and it was a fight for land only. So this is very, very essential to learn. But the good qualities we have to collect, and the negative qualities we have to, we have to be little, we have to keep them away. So economics, when we are talking about, we are, now globalization has taken place. We are having, we are connected with every country. But whatever the changes, whatever the wars or problems are coming with those countries, like Iran now, we are still, we are facing problems. The Chinese people doesn't reveal their, economics. They doesn't reveal their problems. Even the health problems, they doesn't reveal. This is a very, they are very like that. They are very, concerned with themselves, and they never declare their information easily. So that is a one part. So one has to be very careful. Otherwise, China is doing wonderful things, construction of big dams, and they are making sun or something. Various kind of experiments they are doing, and some people are claiming that because of China only the COVID has spread to all the whole world. So they are doing some kind of research and experimentations, and they are very secretive. So what you talk about, please tell us about the secretiveness of this China. Why they make the things secretive? Otherwise, there is a kind of a kingship. They say presidentship, but it is a kingship only. Mr. This he's the only person running the country, and he's not come. There is no opposition also for him. If any opposition is there, you'll find that person will get destroyed. So what you think about these aspects?
Yes, sir. I During my study, I also felt sometimes that was this pandemic man-made or what? Was this deliberative? Was this an experiment failed? What it was? So I went deep into it, and then of course there is no official statement by Indian government or any official or any diplomat that blames China for this pandemic or anything else. But yes, there were many issues which created suspicion in the eyes of any general person, because China is so secretive, so personal. As you know, they say कि अपनी कमजोरी किसी को नहीं बतानी चाहिए, अपनी weakness किसी को नहीं बतानी चाहिए. तो it completely follows that track कि they don't show their any weakness, any policy, anything which gives information to any neighboring country or any other country. They are very secretive in this. They don't talk, they don't do dialogues, they are very manipulative, they are very diplomatic. It's just their policy. They think it in that way that we have to protect ourselves, we have to protect our culture in the national interest, while this doesn't happen in any other country of the world. And that's why it brings China into limelight, that why are you doing so much? Just like I said, I was also shocked when I researched about it and saw that so many Chinese hackers hacked our Indian government data during the COVID-19 pandemic. Like, how it could happen? So yes, but it happened, and no one did anything. We also don't know anything about it. हमें नहीं पता आपका या मेरा आधार नंबर चाइना में है या नहीं है, हमें नहीं पता ये चीज. It is possible, it is definitely possible. So but ये हो रहा है. It's because of their technology. It's because of their investment in modernization, which we are lacking behind. We really need to focus on our technology, modernization, equipments, everything, in order to in our defense area. So there's no answer to that. Why is China so secretive? It's just their ideology. There's no logic explanation behind it.
Yeah, our cell phones which we are using,
Yes.
our information maybe is going over there. So
Yes.
that kind of threat is there. So we have to be strong with the digital security.
Yes.
We have to be very conscious about this, what we are doing on our things. And no doubt there were information like, I belong to health sector. So lot of information data has been collected by those people have taken it. So that leak data leak was there, what the people are saying. So
Yes.
definitely China is very secretive, but still, we should praise to some positive points, because we should not, we should collect some positive points from the negative also, like what we have learned yang and yin, right? The positive masculine principle and positive feminine principle, and that balance and the health status and various things, has come from China. Barefoot doctor, acupuncture, acupressure, all things have come from China. Of course, nowadays we have made it Indian system, like Indian system, acupuncture, acupressure. So it has come from them. And those people strongly believe in prevention rather than curative therapies. So that is the best part. In our country, we are having so many hospitals, such a robust healthcare system. We are having still, we are fighting for people has to search for help. And in China, they strongly believe in prevention. So we have to learn something positive. Otherwise, we should see both the sides of the coin, and we should collect the positive points. And there is a learning from China also. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. It was a great dialogue with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Sir, for discussing in detail with our speaker. As every day you conclude all these things, so we are very happy that our participants are also doing such a great discussion every day, so that we get more knowledge through the discussion also. Thank you, sir. और हम सूर्य प्रकाश व्यास सर को इनवाइट करते हैं और राजेश्वर कात्रे सर को भी.
सर
नमस्ते. नमस्ते मैडम.
नमस्ते.
ये एक क्या कि यद्यपि दोनों प्राचीन सभ्यताएं हैं, लेकिन जैसे चाइना मुख्यतः कम्युनिस्ट कंट्री, वहां पे धर्म का कोई माने, इसीलिए वहां पे धर्म के पे आप जो कह रहे हैं कि भाई वो जो है जयवीर जी ने कहा कि आगे बढ़ना चाहिए, तो वो एक दिवा स्वप्न होगा, क्योंकि उनके लिए जो है वो धर्म के प्रति ज्यादा कुछ नहीं है. और दूसरा सबसे बड़ी बात है, अगर इकोनॉमी के हिसाब से देखे रहे तो भारत और चाइना में जो बेसिक डिफरेंस है वो ये है कि भारत में जो है कोई भी व्यक्ति प्रधानमंत्री की माता जी को गाली दे सकता है. यहाँ पे जो है जंतर मंतर में प्रदर्शन होता है तो कोई कुछ नहीं, ठीक है चलो गलत है, अच्छा जो भी है, लेकिन उसको सपोर्ट भी करते हैं, देश विरोधी है. लेकिन वहां पे ये आपको मालूम है, कुछ सालों पहले स्टूडेंट का जो आंदोलन हुआ था थियानमेन चौक पे, तो वो कितने बच्चे कहाँ गायब हो गए. तो वहाँ सबसे बड़ी बात है कि कोई अगर वहां पे राष्ट्रपति कोई बोलता है तो गायब हो जाता है. वहां पे जैसे उइगर है, उनके साथ क्या हो रहा है पूरी दुनिया जानती है, लेकिन न पाकिस्तान बोल. और यहाँ पे भारत के अंदर रोहिंग्या, बांग्लादेशी, वो ना जो ISI के एजेंट पाकिस्तानी जो है, जो इलीगल के थ्रू पे आज भी रह रहे हैं, जो उनको हम जो कि सिक्योरिटी के दृष्टि से हमारे लिए बहुत हानिकारक भी है, तो पर भी हम कुछ नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. जो यहाँ पे उनका सपोर्ट है, जब भी वहां पे जो है उन सबको साफ कर दिया गया है. और वहां पे अगर सरकार ने कोई कह दिया कि हमको ये प्रोजेक्ट करना है, तो वहां पे कोई कुछ बोल नहीं सकता. ये बेसिक डिफरेंस है. और अपने यहाँ पे अगर देश के हित के लिए भी अगर कोई योजना शुरू है, तो यहाँ जैसे आपको मैं उसमें जो टीका बनाया था कोविड के लिए, तो वो जब लगाना था तो लोगों ने उसके बारे में कहा कि ये गलत है, या फिर किसी ने कहा कि इसको लगाने से जो है व्यक्ति जो है वो नामर्द बन जाएगा, इस ढंग से जो है. तो यही बेसिक डिफरेंस से इसी कारण जो है. और कुछ वहां पे हाँ बहुत सी चीजों में उनकी योग्यताएं भी है, उसको आप नजरअंदाज नहीं कर सकते, लेकिन वहां पे सरकार जो कह देती है उसको फाइनल है, वहां पे कोई उसको अपोज नहीं कर सकता. इसीलिए जो है वहां पे आगे बढ़ रहे हैं. और भारत में जो है इसीलिए हम कहीं पीछे रह रहे हैं, या कुछ चीजें जो इसीलिए जो समय जा रहा है, या तो जो धीरे धीरे फिर उसमें जो समय के साथ में संपत्ति का भी जो है वो नुकसान होता है, क्योंकि कोई भी प्रोजेक्ट अगर डिले होता है तो उसकी कॉस्टिंग और बढ़ती है. तो उसका बेसिक जो इकोनॉमिक डिफरेंस और ये जो कारण है, उसमें ये भी एक कुछ चीजें शामिल. धन्यवाद.
बिल्कुल सर, यही खूबसूरती है हमारे देश की, हमारी डेमोक्रेसी की, कि हम सबको आवाज़ देते हैं, सबको फ्रीडम देते हैं. ऑन दी अदर हैंड चाइना में ये चीज़ बिल्कुल नहीं है. कोविड-19 के टाइम पे भी उधर इतने सारे लोगों को केज में रखा गया. जितने RTI एक्टिविस्ट चाइना में थे सबको जेल में डाल दिया गया, बिकॉज दे रेज्ड अगेंस्ट द प्लान्ड कोविड-19 वायरस. येस, इट्स ट्रू. In this way we differ from China in a very very positive way. बिकॉज बिल्कुल सही बात बोली है आपने. पर हाँ, वही ये डिबेटेबल टॉपिक पॉलिटिकल साइंस में आज के टाइम में चल रहा है, डेमोक्रेसी और डेवलपमेंट को लेकर के, कि जहाँ डेमोक्रेसी है वहाँ डेवलपमेंट शायद थोड़ा कम हो पा रहा है, और जहाँ अथॉरिटेटिव गवर्नमेंट है वहाँ डेवलपमेंट बेटर हो पा रहा है. ये अभी रिसेंट ट्रेंड देखने में आया, तो देखते हैं अभी आगे ये किस वे में जाएगा, ये देखने वाली बात रहेगी.
I have one suggestion to doctor, that we should not claim that China spread COVID-19, because it is internationally and nationally, it is that we should apologize for that, because we cannot do statement like that, because we don't have proof.
No. Yes.
Yes,
There's
yes.
no official statement.
Yeah.
WHO has stated it as a
Yeah.
global pandemic.
As,
Yes.
as per the rules of the social media, we cannot do fake claims, so that we can get the legal notice from other countries also. So that is my suggestion to Dr. Swanand sir. And I have one thing to say that. So China is a country which do not think about values. They think about their own interest.
Yes.
So as far as our security is concerned, we should not talk anything about China, because there are so many apps that are listening to us every
Yes.
time, every day.
Yes.
There is no microphone in the world that cannot be hacked by China, because their microprocessor is there, their software is there, they're assembling their phones in India only, but their technology is there in phone you are using, that is Chinese. So complete the world market is with semiconductors of Chinese. So they know what we are doing. But as far as our privacy is concerned, India is more specific about its defense privacy and also the technologies we are having. But what happened? China do not share their own technologies. In terms of globally we take the treatment of cancer like chemotherapy. But in China, chemotherapy is banned. They are having their own treatment. So in any terms sector, they are leading, but they do not share their technology and their therapy, and any sector they don't want. They maintain their privacy. So as on social media platform also, we should take care of while talking against China. Yeah, the government will take any step against India if they do so. But as a citizen, we should be a very responsible citizen, so that India should not take any action against our citizens only, because there are some international laws that makes us to abide with that. Also, national laws are there. There are some social media rules are there. Okay, thank you very much, ma'am, for informative session. Thank you, Dr. Bedkar, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. It was great listening to you.
Thank you all the active participants, Raichur Katle sir, Dr. Swanand Shukla sir, Surya sir, Javi Singh ji. I was thinking that no one will discuss on today's point, but today's discussion was half discussion. More than 15 minutes we are discussing. It's a great thing with that. There should be a discuss on this point. And also, we request you can join another day as a speaker on other point as per your field of interest and research. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir, definitely. Thank you so much for inviting me. And I found so many areas of research with this discussion. I am so grateful to all the esteemed members, all the faculties, my colleagues. Thank you so much for so many new points. And I would love to collaborate with you in future again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, again. And thank you to all participants, including Dr. Swanand Shukla sir, who is on present on the screen. Thank you, sir.
थैंक यू बेदकर सर, थैंक यू मैम। मैं बस इतना ही कहना चाहूँगा उदिता दीदी, मैं जिस देश का में रहता हूँ, मुझे अपने देश पर, भारत पर बहुत गर्व है, इसलिए क्योंकि हमारे देश में वासुदेव कुटुंबकम की बातें होती है, सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनम की बातें होती है। और तीसरा बात मैं बस इतना ही बोलना चाहूँगा बेदकर सर, कि जब भी इस तरह का युद्ध होता है तो आम जनमानस ही पिसाता है, और ये सबसे ज्यादा आग गीला और नम तब होता है जब इस युद्ध में आम जन पिसाता है। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर, और इसी तरह का विषय आप लाएं, हमेशा इस तरह के विषय के साथ संवाद हो तो बहुत सारी चीजें क्लियर भी होती हैं, बहुत सी चीजें जानने को भी मिलता है। तो बहुत बहुत आभार।
Thank you, Sonu Kumar. Thank you, ma'am. You can leave and take rest. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.